All right, so we're not going to stop there, right? Because when we're studying positions and patterns, and I mean patterns on the guitar, not. Oh, we're certainly doing patterns, scale patterns, but I'm talking about. Hey, there's a pattern here. We have the same pitch right here, same pitch right here, same pitch right here, or there's a pattern. We've got the cage system where we have a C-shaped chord pentatonic scale here, let's say, and then we have an A-shaped pentatonic. So we've got a pattern. So let's try to follow the pattern through that we've developed here. So we're going to try the diatonic from the third string. Now the theory should hold up that an E-shaped diatonic from the third string. So where did we start? We started here. Hopefully we have this. Here's the second string. We didn't get it on the third string, but we can pick it up from one of the other diagonals. So we got these stripes of imaginary diagonals, okay? I don't know if I could show you that. So these diagonals I'm talking about, we're going to draw lines. Here we have the E diagonal right there. And we can just pick up the E on another diagonal like that. Okay, we don't always have it six shapes away, 6 strings for the full diagonal. I can show you what that looks like. So we're going to be picking up this E on the third string. So a full diagonal in this case would be 6 strings here and 6 instances of the same pitch. Right there would be the C drawing right there. That's the full diagonal. I don't have that on this guitar here. The best I could do is this high C to this one, to this one, okay, to this one. About 4 strings of it. So then we'd have to pick up on the 5th string and the 6th string. All the same. Did you notice how they're all the same pitch? Okay, they're not. On that second diagonal, okay, it was an octave higher. So I kind of tripped on this subject a couple of lessons ago, so I want to cover it for us. When you draw these diagonals, now this is the full caged picture. So these aren't in fourths. The other diagram we were looking at was in fourths or fifths. This is the full picture here. So we draw our E diagonal here, and this diagonal line, and then this diagonal line. These are separated by an octave, each one of them. So let's just see if we can play 3 of them. We'll play, let's do this one if we can, this one, and this one. Okay? So we got the bottom one, E-shaped. So we got our E-shaped, we got an E-shape sitting around right here. Here's an E-shape up here. And it ain't going to be any different. Just you play it in different areas on strings and it becomes a different key, right? So this can be this. That's a half step down, a whole step down. So if you're in C here, this is going to be B flat. The E shape in the B flat. So that would be B flat root. Okay, but let's not get into the key of F now. We're staying in the key of C for the demonstration. So we have this E, and then we're going to go to this one. It should be the same. Oh, yeah, right. We did that. We know this is going to be the same one, right? So where'd that guy get off to? So these are the same. Now let's hop up an octave here. This should be an octave up here, so we're going to look for that E, that B one shape over. So here we go, an octave. So that E, this E is also an octave up. because it's on the same string. So these two guys are the same. Okay, and then up here we should be an octave above that. So we're starting on the bottom here with this. So we're going to be going. The piano turned itself off. We're going to be going, and then. Okay. All right. So we've set the picture for starting pentatonic or diatonic now, or diatonic scales from different pitches on the fretboard. Okay, so let's hold on. Okay, so remembering the subject of this lesson is how to play the diatonic scales in both the open or lead position, the finger barred position, which lets you get the notes underneath this bar that you make, or in the fret nut capo position where you can't get the notes below the bar, so you have to play the long pattern. That's the subject of this lesson. But let's just finish up this topic if it comes back into play. So this is today's chart here, and it is chart 171, playing all 5-cage diatonic scales using familiar patterns. Let's look at those patterns. I'm going to put the guitar down so I don't have to lean over and have the guitar kind of preventing me from working the keyboard and the mouse. So these are our string shapes here. And by the way, about these string shapes, I kind of owe you the best explanation to what they are. So let's go one chart above to today's chart. And of course, yesterday's chart's part of this lesson. And that is 172. And that is, I'll hold it on and read it, key of caged long patterns for diatonic scales at the fret nut, or you can just play them anywhere. If you can play it at the fret nut, you can play it anywhere. Let's use C as an example. The wonderful thing about the C scale is you can play it from the open string. Just like that. Okay, now the C scale itself is got a way to play it, and I figured out a way to play the C scale, and I have to use this chart because this is what the lesson's about. And it's saying here that to play a C scale, you simply do an S2L, an S3L, and an S1C. So we're pretty much going to cover the bottom 5 strings every time we play a diatonic scale. The top string's just going to be a repeat of the bottom string, and it's also going to be the string shape of the position that we're playing it in. So with the C scale, again, it's going to be S1C on the top. This is going to be the top string. It's going to be the C. So you're playing the C diatonic scale. The top string is going to be simply labeled as the C. But we're doing an S2L and an S3L. Now some of you might remember that this is the S3L and the S2L. Okay, so we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2 in the S3L, and yes, this is a 7L shaped diagram here, and I'll show you what I mean by 7L. Here we've got our 7, and here we've got our L, and this I consider like a mini 7L diagram, right, like that. And there it is. There's the 7L. So that's the shape of an S3L, and it's also the shape of an S5L. Okay? Now, an S4L does not